Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation, where I review action figures and then articulate 5 points to help you decide if you want to add that figure to your collection. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, poseability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and today we're going to be taking a look in the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight's Death Metal, Batman, and Batcycle. I haven't read the comic, so I don't know if I'd like it, but you know what I do like? 80s metal, and this has 80s metal album art written all over it, so I am really excited to dig into these. First things first, let's take a look at the packaging. It's a DC Multiverse box, so you pretty much know what to expect. Big window in the front, DC Multiverse logo, side A, side B, get it? Side A and side B, kind of like a rock album. Top, bottom, and back. Some nice artwork of Batman doing his best Meatloaf impression. I'm gonna hit the highway like a battering ram on a silver black phantom bike. Moving on to the Batcycle box, we can see how they kind of reconfigure the figure box for vehicles, and honestly, this works really well. The great big window just really shows you everything you're getting. Side A and side B, the other figures, and a whole different picture of it. Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone when the morning comes. Sliding the Batcycle out of the box, we can see all the straps we're going to have to get through. I'm pretty sure that Jason Todd had an easier time stealing wheels off the Batmobile than I did getting this thing out of that box. But now that it's out, I am super excited. And to be honest, the packaging is great. I've said it before and I'll say it again. McFarlane has really solid boxes. For packaging, one whole point. Moving on to presentation, and starting with Batman, we can see that he comes to about 7¼ inches to the tip of his ears. Starting off with the head, it is absolutely one of the best Batman likenesses I've ever seen. In fact, the only Batman head I would even compare it to is the Flashpoint Batman, which is ironic because I'm 99% sure that if this isn't the exact same head, this was at least the starting point. I mean, look at the crow's feet and the wrinkles of the eyebrows and the nose, and like even this little detail here. These have got to be the same head, right? But the Flashpoint ears seem just a little bit pointier, and there are a couple of extra wrinkles in the forehead, so I'm not sure. But hey, if something isn't broke, don't fix it. Obviously, one of the first things that's going to draw your attention is this incredible trench coat. It's made of a nice, soft, rubbery plastic. It's got layers and layers of different bat scallops, really incredible leather texturing, nice little spikies, and just buckles galore. Moving on down, you know how they have that new kind of gold label Batman that Todd McFarlane himself designed? To my eye, this looks honestly more like what I would have imagined a Todd McFarlane Batman to be. I mean, he literally has Spawn's belt. I love how they took the scallops on Batman's gloves and just sort of built it into this kind of armored gauntlet. Incredible detail on these gloves. I mean, you can literally see all the stitches and wrinkles. Shame these spikes aren't painted though. And I'm guessing there's supposed to be some paint detail there because if you look, you can see fingernails. And then moving down to the bottom of the trench coat, you can see it has the scallops that his cape would have had. And the nice thing about that trench coat is you can kind of use it to help prop him up. There really is just no end to the detail of this figure. Moving back up, we can see the nice raised logo and the texturing on the bodysuit. I feel like I could stare at this figure for hours and just keep seeing new hidden details pop out at me. Even back here where no one is ever going to see, you still have this really cool belt and skulls and chains. Over the years, there have been hundreds of wacky Batman variations. But I can honestly say I have never seen leather cowboy rockstar Batman before, and I am here for it. Even without the Batcycle, he is pretty cool all on his own. But lucky for us, there is a Batcycle, and this thing is awesome. I mean, you just see this bone texture and this really awesome wash. I love the little pinwheels in the ears and the nostrils and the googly eyes popping out. Kind of reminds me of those skeleton bikers from Batman Returns. The tires are actually made out of rubber and they even have little bats on them. This bone detailing from the Joker Dragon is so cool. I will warn you though, it does feel a little bit brittle, so don't play with it too much. But underneath that skeleton you see all this incredible detailing. There's the rivets and the little bat symbol and the fan. There's a nice wash over all of it that helps the details just really pop. Moving toward the back, you can see, bat symbols and more bat symbols. Really cool tailbone detailing. Awesome exhaust over here. Just like the trench coat and the gloves, you see this incredible texture detailing and the stitch work. A little bit of paint slop on the handlebars, but nothing too bad. Individually, each one of these items is awesome. Together, it's one of the coolest toys I've ever seen in my entire life. I think that decades from now, people are going to still be talking about this set. It's that cool. For presentation, one whole point. I honestly wish I could give it more. Moving on to poseability, and Batman's head is on a dumbbell. Nice range up, nice range down, side to side and all the way around. Arm comes up to just under 90 degrees. Can't really go all the way around because of this jacket, but he does have bicep swivel and fantastic double jointed elbows. He also has those wrist balls I don't like, but because of this nice big gauntlet, they're pretty well hidden. And it does hinge up and down pretty good, I'm sure, to accommodate the handlebars of that motorcycle. Mostly useless diaphragm joint. You see how the abs are cut downward like this? Because of that, it really can't bend forward. Decent side to side though, and also some good twisting, but really that doesn't matter because he can also twist at the waist. A good old-fashioned ab crunch would just be so much better here. We got the McFarlane hips. Look at that side kick, and oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually haven't balanced that good. And if that wasn't miracle enough, thigh cut! Now if you're wondering why I just shot to 11 over that, it's because thigh cut is one of those things we've been wanting out of a McFarlane Multiverse figure for a while. He has double jointed knees, but they're kind of hindered by all these straps. And of course the McFarlane ankle ball and toe articulation. Honestly, on a figure like this, that ball is just even more jarring than usual. If you look at the boot, it's more of like a matte finish gunmetal gray, but this ball is just a glossy black that just sticks out like a sore thumb. And if you're wondering about the poseability of the Batcycle, it can turn left and right. The wheels on the Batcycle spin round and round, round and round, round and round. And the footrests are adjustable. With all the points of articulation that we've come to expect plus thigh cut, this is hands down the most posable DC Multiverse figure that McFarlane Toys has given us. For posability, it gets 1 whole point. Moving on to playability, I just want to take a moment to point out that both the figure and the Batcycle come with their own trading card. And each one has its own separate write-up and stats. Want to know where this really cool Batcycle came from? Well, pause and read it now. Apparently it came from the bones of a Joker dragon. I don't know what a Joker dragon is, but I hope McFarlane makes one. And here we have the data file on Batman, which lets us know that he has a Black Lantern ring. And now that I'm looking for it, yeah, I can see he does. Remember what I said about being able to look at this thing for hours and always finding new details? And if you look really close, you can see it even has the Black Lantern logo carved on it. On the subject of Batman, he also comes with this really cool scythe. You can see the bat scallops in there. Nice wood grain texture with some straps around it. Would have benefited from a wash or something to bring out that detail, but honestly, it's fine. It kind of reminds me of this old sickle that came with the Legends of the Dark Knight Scarecrow. If the scythe isn't your thing, there is a different version coming out with a guitar, but honestly, I think this is a really cool look. Playability is, of course, more than just accessories. It's also how well your figure plays with others. So here he is next to the Flashpoint Batman and the Last Night on Earth Wonder Woman. She does kind of tower over him a bit, though, thanks to those platform shoes. But side by side, these two look fantastic together. For another Bat comparison, here he is side by side with the DC Essentials Rebirth Batman version 2. And for a Rockstar comparison, here he is side by side with Spider-Punk. But let's be honest, that's not what you came here for. You came here to see him ride this motorcycle, and wow! Seeing this figure on this Batcycle, I almost have chills. Every so often, an action figure comes along that just transcends being a simple toy and is really a work of art. And as a feather in Todd McFarlane's cap, this thing is a masterpiece. Honestly, I think the only thing that could make it any better would be a guitar thrown over his back. Hang on. Alright, I mean, it's a little bit small, but it does give you an idea of the potential. But let's just say, worst case scenario, you've got to wait on your Batman. Are there other figures you could put on here instead? The lack of thigh cut does kind of get in the way, but that Last Night on Earth Wonder Woman looks pretty cool. Flashpoint Batman looks pretty sweet. Heck, even Frogman looks cooler. Here it is with Man-Bat, because, well, that seemed kind of appropriate. And since the Batcycle came from a Joker dragon, it seemed only fitting to pose him with the Joker himself. Skeleton trophies made me think of Predator, so I thought I'd give this a try too. And just because it reminded me of the skeleton bikers from Batman Returns, here he is with Michael Keaton. Excelsior! You've heard of Elf on a Shelf? Well, here's a hog on a hog. Strictly speaking, a hog is a Harley Davidson. And I guess that's my best John Mulaney. But really, at the end of the day, these two just go together like Chevy and baseball. For playability, 1 whole point. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price, and yeah, $20 each, go get it. Literally right now. Stop watching this video. What are you waiting for? For price, 1 whole point for a grand total of 5 out of 5. So, in review, 1, it's a Rockstar Batman driving a motorcycle made out of bones with a scythe. You need 4 other points? What do you need 4 other points for? I can tell you right now, for me, this is already looking like Toy of the Year. This is not going with my Batman collection. This is going right in my living room. I want every single person who comes into my house to see that figure. That is how much I love it. I guarantee if you like Batman and metal, you will too. If you've enjoyed this content, please like, share, subscribe, do all of the YouTube rigmarole. If you haven't seen it yet, check out my Last Night on Earth Wonder Woman review. Also, if you go down to the description, you'll notice that I actually have a Facebook page for this channel now. Another fun way of keeping in touch and seeing what's going on. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, have fun.